on a bigger scale. So I hope this works for you, but when you're on, say g'day and let me know. I'm going to get my computer up and running for me, so I can see any comments and stuff. Oh, that's not it. Right now. There we go. Okay, so expand. Hi Tracy, how you going? Oh, you'll see the puppy dogs running around. Candy's been good. Hi Lynette, Vanessa, Liz, Kerry. G'day everyone. So it's very hot. So I've just been outside and come back in. What you doing? I'm doing something special. So I thought I would go through. I hope you can hear me well. Hi Francis, as sheepishly comes on. Hi Jimmy. Hi Maya and Julie, everyone else that's on. G'day. Let me know. Hi Michelle, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Same to you guys. Julie, hello. Yeah, so I'm going to start doing a collage my way, the way I do it. So, g'day G. Now G's going to be there in the background, and she can take any orders for me, because this is stuff that she'll be able to stock. So I'll go through with you, first of all, at the very start of what I'm doing, and the very few things that I need. So the first thing you need is your photo of what you're going to do. So it could be, you know, a pet, a person, whatever. It could be scenery, it doesn't matter. Then you need to, g'day Debbie and Linda, Happy New Year, Louise as well, and everyone else, and Debbie, there's two Debbies. And then you put it onto your computer and get it into a file that is a PDF. So I normally, I right click on the image and then I say create PDF. So it just tends to do it for me. You might have different programs in your system that will and won't work that way. I'm not too sure. If you don't, you have trouble, let me know and I'll see if I can walk you through it. It's pretty easy. So I think you can print as a PDF as well with Cute PDF, which is also a free program. Hi Yvonne. So what I've done is I've got over here, I've got a Toidle, and I've been wanting to do this for about 18 months, and I haven't had a chance, at least the last 12 months. So I've sort of got it all printed out, and hi Christine and Linda, g'day. And now what I need to do is put it together. So I've printed it out the size I want it. So when I go to the printing from the PDF file, I actually print it as a poster. You can't do that in the file as if you just open up as a picture. So if you open up as a JPEG or PNG or whatever they call them, TIFF files and all that sort of stuff, you can't open it up and print as a poster as good as you can in a what they call it, a PDF file. I've got the fan on here. If that's too loud, let me know. I'm really hot, so I don't really want to turn it off, but I'll turn it down for you if it's too loud. So once you've printed it out, it'll tell you when you go to the print screen, it'll say, okay, can you print in this many inches and on this much paper? So it'll do it. Now I print it out in the grayscale, so black and white. And then what I do is on my computer, I will have the picture. So I'm going to show you. Hang on, let me just get it. I'll move this. Sorry about the mic there. So that is my picture there, okay? So, now, I have, since seeing the Stonehenge fabric, I have wanted to do this ever since then. So I kept some fabric for myself. Oh, I know, greedy, yes, but must have happened. So there's always a reason for these things. So, just on my break at work, oh my God, Sue, that is so hot. Hi everyone, hope you're well, says Pat. Yes, everyone is well, I think everyone's pretty good. So once you've got that, you're gonna need Sharpies, they're definite, and you're gonna need sticky tape. You're also gonna need your fabric, your paper scissors, At this point, you don't need any fabric scissors at all. You don't need any pins or anything like that. But you are also going to need, mine's dusty, some freezer paper. So if you don't have that, G will take orders for that for you, and she can order it in. I don't stock it as a general rule, but you need this. Alright, so first things first is you lay out your picture, and I lay it out in sections, and what I need for that is I need to have my picture up or one next to me so I can see in what sections it needs to be laid out. Now you'll have like a lip around it, like an overlapping thing that you need, okay? So you need to have these things so that you can overlap the paper, and that way you can just tape them together. But you only need one side. The other side you can trim. So each one either trim or fold. So I just briefly trim that. I don't do anything spectacular to it. I don't take my time, I just give it a good trim. And I know that this is the top edge because I can tell by the photo I've got stuck to my table over here. So I'm going to tape those two down. I'm using clear tape. It's just clear just clear sticky tape. If it moves and you've got a little white edge, it's no big deal. Alright? Then you move on, oops, stuck to the table, onto the next one. Now if you've got any questions at any time, please ask me. You know, don't sort of leave it and then think, oh, you know, I should have asked. So I'm just going to fold this one and show you it can be done both ways. It's quicker to fold it than it is to cut. You don't have to have a big piece. You can sit your tape on there, do little bits at a time, just to hold it and hold up there, and then grab a bigger piece and just run it along that main area. Table's frothy, stuff coming off everywhere. So it's so big I'm going to fold it over a bit because it just sort of goes off the side of the page. What about a lack of sight, says Jimmy. Okay, so Jimmy, you might need to, you might have to have someone with you just to be able to, with a printout. They do have, yes, I'm using A3, but you can use A4. It just means you've got more joins. You might need someone with you, Jimmy, or if you're really nice and you're very special and all that sort of stuff, and you send me the picture, I can do that for you and send it in the post to you. I think I've got one, a kookaburra. I think is it Debbie? Is it Debbie who wanted the kookaburra done? And I'm gonna, this is exactly what you do. So depending on how big you want it, as to using A3, yes, I answered that, yes. So I've got a printer luckily for me, I've got a printer that is A3. You can use A4, like I said. If you get sort of waves in your paper, don't stress. So that's the top row. Now if you want to, you can go number 1 here, so you know it's the top one. Well, I did not get a Mickey taken out of me. You missed your chance. Don't worry, Jimmy, there's always another chance with you. And then what I do is I turn her over and I just tape the back, just one piece on each join. It just stops it from flopping around. What are you doing, Yvonne? I am doing a, prepping up a art piece, getting it ready to create the actual design. So that is the top row. So I just pop that aside, out of my way, and then I find the next one. So normally they're printed in order, but I did mix these up a bit, which was a bit stupid of me. So I'm just going to do top and bottom because they're easy to find. And my printer decided to eat a couple of pieces while I was doing it, so I'm hoping I've got all of them. I think I tried to print that twice. No, maybe not. Just pop that aside. 2 and 3. So I know I've got 4 going across, so I'll just pop these away for a sec. I'm pretty sure, looking at my picture that's in front of me over here to my left, which will be on your right, that these are the ones. So that's his little arm, and then it's pretty much just water underneath. Move the mouse out of the way. And that goes just like that. So I'm going to again join these together, fold on that line. You can cut it if you want, makes no difference. Sometimes you can print with marks, so it's got little crosses and all sorts of things, but you know, realistically you don't have to. You can just eyeball it, because in the end it is an art piece and it's all relevant to the artist as to how you want it to look. So when you do start doing this, to make sure your Sharpies are good and new. Okay, they're nice and new, they're dark. If you use an old Sharpie, it just won't be able to give you what you need, and you'll understand when I start doing it. Hi Louise, Happy New Year to you too. I hope everyone's well and good at your end. So just lining them up. This is the beginning. What are we doing, Bella? Again, just to explain to you guys that I'm just creating the prep for an art piece, and you'll see what I'm doing as I go along. I'll explain it all. So fold back your other print. When this reloads, this video, you'll be able to go back and have a quick look at the start, because I explained to you how you get the printout. Like, you know, Jimmy, I think Rose Johnson, I think if she's online, sometimes she has, I think she has sight issues as well. So if you have sight issues or anything, or you don't have the printer, hi Cheryl, and you'd like me to print out something for you, now just make sure that I've purchased this through Shutterstock, so I've paid for this one. So just make sure it's a piece of artwork. Good question, Sandy. Genevieve, will I be able to answer that for you? How much is a piece of paper? Yeah, there you go, Ginny. That's, yeah, good time to have a good old feel of a narrow gauge steam engine to do. Okay. Yeah, so just make sure that you have the copyright permission to actually use the piece. So again, I'm just joining up those on the back so it doesn't flop around on me. G will get the price for us. She was going to do that before. So that is number 4. So just folding it back over, so I know that that is number 4. I'm pretty sure it was 4 rows. Okay. Alright, so this is going to be the second bottom row, because I can see that that's his fin there. That's under his chin. And then we've got, that's his head. That is that one. So there's got to be one in between here. Is that it now? That must be it over here. Yeah. Alright, so that's those. Put those aside. This is going to be number 3. So because I've done quite a few of these, I sort of know the layout of how these work and everything, and this is also another good way to enlarge any pattern that you have. G'day Rose, just talking about you. I am just putting together a pattern for an art piece that I'm going to do, and you're going to love it. If you have, and I was just saying to Jimmy, if you have sight issues and you can't lay this out, I can put it together for you and send it back to you. You just need to send me the picture. So I'm creating a very big canvas. That's what I'm doing. This is going to be my pattern. This is how you create your pattern. Hi Carolyn, how you going, lovey? So I have something really exciting to tell you as well. On Wednesday this week, I'm flying out to Queensland. I know, and guess who I'm going to go and visit? I know! guess what we're going to get up to? Oh my God, you're going to have so much fun. Because I am going to like full on like get into Adele's sewing room and go live. I said to her, I can't not come up there and not do a live. Yes, that's you, darling, yes. So very exciting. I've looked at the prereqs and all I need to do is go today and get a test done. Are Queensland accepting those self-doing ones, or do you still have to go and get the other ones? You're in Queensland too, Sandy? Cool. Hi, Eliza. Alright, so this is number 3. So we just pop number 3 there. Roll that up. Self-doing, coolies. I will do that. Chemist, Vassalvo. So, this one here, this one, I don't know, something happened to this one. I'm not too sure what happened. I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to wing it, so I'm just going to do that. It'll be shorter. My printer had a bit of a moment. Hi, Jenny. I can ad-lib that one by the looks of it. I love it when your printer has a moment. So layering that on there. And once you see my background fabric now, a lot of you bought this fabric a while ago. The same brand Michelle uses 16 foot 12 metre roll. If you'd like a roll, just drop in a comment. Thank you, G. 12 metres would be plenty. $16 is a good price. Hi, Wanda. So if you'd like some freezer paper, please just comment in there. Genevieve is ready to take the order. And she can get that out to you when you want. Better check if you can get one all sold out at many places. Yeah, no worries. Look, if I have to wait a day and change my flight, I think I have the ability to do that, so I'm not really overly stressed. So yeah, my printer decided to chew this one, so all I'm going to do is lay this one on top. I know there's an overriding bit there. Thank you, Sandy, no worries. That's for Genevieve. She'll do the likey your comment thing. So I'm just pretending that there's still water going along there. There you go, Denise. Genevieve will take that order for you, darling. It'll come from G. This is, I find, like I said, if I do print this out on A3 paper, I print it out at $1 a piece for black and white and $1.50 for colour. Alright, done, girls, there you go. So this is number 2. I reckon maybe this one had to go on that side. I've got a feeling I can pull it apart anyway. Let me get number, yeah. I reckon, yeah. Hang on. Let me just pull that apart. Yeah. So to pull these apart, all you do is get your scissors and go along there gently, just along that line. You only want to go through the tape and just lift. Get your fingernail under there or something. Come on, lift and lift. There we go. Just off subject, your type you've got over your extension lead on the floor tape. You can go to Officeworks and they have a cover that goes right over the extension lead, and then you won't have any worry tripping on the bits that aren't taped down. Oh, okay. I know I should have, can I have a roll, says Carolyn O'Brien. I'm sure Jean will take that order for you. Come on. reckon, let's trim this one here. Me reckon, me do, that goes there. I was just thinking that more water was needed on the other side. I should have spoken, that's alright. That's okay. It takes 5 seconds to adjust it. Like I say, it's got stuck in that machine, and once it does that, you sort of at its beck and call then, aren't you? Oh, I'm reckoning it goes in the way. It's been tossed and turned. Yep, it sure does. There we go. Alright. What is the magic you are doing? Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm creating a pattern for a piece of artwork. So you'll see in a minute. Alright. So if you ever want to do a collage or any kind of quilt with a collage, this is how it sort of starts a lot of the time. A lot of textile artists have different ways of doing it. This is the way I've found works really well for me, and you'll find your own sort of, you know, what works better thing. There we go. That's better. So this will be number 2. Alright, now here comes the hard part. Now we've got to join these babies together. So it's number 2 and number 3, and again you've got this overlapping thing, so you can fold it under or cut it off. Find folding under easier. And you know, if you fold under and it's a little bit bigger than the actual white line, it doesn't matter. Just easier. I don't cut straight enough to warrant doing it the other way. So this is sort of it's quite a long process to do anything like this. I find this the harder part for me. It's just because it's analytical. But after you sort of get it all drawn and then it's all sort of, you know, very easy to manipulate. Yeah, Liza, it is. It's a toidle. So you can go into Shutterstock and you can buy a standard license. I think it's about $50, and it gives you so many downloads that you can use. And you know, then you're buying someone else's artwork or pictures or photos or whatever, but you're paying for the use of them. You can't go and resell their photo, but you can use it in your artwork. So if you're a painter or whatever, sculptor or whatever you want to be, then you can actually use that as a reference. So it's more of a reference thing. So I'm just lining up those lines the best as I can, and like I say, if it's not perfect, don't stress. You're going to change it up to make it work anyway. Now what you'll notice is I'm not putting a huge amount of tape this way, just enough to hold it. I'll take the back a bit. It'll have some wonky bits in it, and that's okay. This is bad, Michelle. You have, with my brain, you have, my brain, yes, I'm one with one going a zillion miles an hour. Sorry. So now I've sort of got it. Look, the amount of things that you can do once you start doing any kind of textile arts or collage or anything like that, your world just opens up. You look at fabric so differently. You don't look at it as a quilt as such. You look at it as a textile. It's just a different world. Got not fit, yeah. Yeah, I sort of figured that with the typo thing. You still drink it from the ears, Jimmy. I have a wall wanting to do. There you go. So now you'll find lines like this don't meet, that's okay. Alright, so I've got the two middle ones. Now I need to do the two, I'm just going to join up that side bit there because that'll annoy me. And this side, just right at the edge to stop it from pulling apart. Now, grab number 4. It's long. And I'm going to, and you'll see here, like if I was to like just leave that white line there, it's not that big a deal because it's, the only part you really need to think about is where the lining up of the actual fin goes. And make sure that's all lined up. Take that down. Did you print post to yourself? Yes, I did, darling. Yeah, I can do that on my printer. The ink is expensive. It's like $200-300 each time I have to fill it up. It does do quite a lot, and of course, you know, time is always an issue. But yes, I can do this for you, as in print it all out, and you can then put it together. Name of the site, Shutterstock. Thank you, Vanessa. Yeah. So Shutterstock is the site. That's shutterstock.com. Alright, one now. Hello, what are you doing? Barbara, I'm making a piece of artwork. I've been playing on this, like with this idea for 18 months at least. And every time I go to Craft Alive, I see the young girl that's there, and she's got one. Different, and I don't do it like she does. It's all pretty much painted and stuff, and it's just beautiful. Every time I see it, I think, oh, it must be the one I've been meaning to do. Yep, Rose, that's right. Officeworks is cheap to print as well. Probably cheaper to go to Officeworks, and you'll have it right away. So I'm just turning that over. So all you'd have to do is go to Officeworks with a, what's the name, what they call it, a file, PDF file. It doesn't have to be an immaculate print where you can see every single colour. You can get one printed out on an A3 in colour if you want to, but you've always got your computer, you know, to see your picture. So you don't really have to print one out in colour. You can do it all in black and white. So this is the process I go through with every artwork piece. This is how I create the Brolgas. This is how I created the Kookaburra, the Rosie, the whole lot. So this is how it's done. That's why there's so many bits of papers in your pattern when you get it, yeah, you'll understand a little bit more how it works. So if you were to now get the Brolgas, you'd understand how that pattern was created. Alright, just take the end. You know how much they charge? Not too sure how much, obviously. It's maybe get online and have a look, see what they charge, and just the other end so those two pieces don't flap around. Now I'm going to do the other end. So I'm going to turn it up the other way. Oh my God, Father, it's huge. Now you can understand why I've got the camera so far away. There it is. Okay. Hello Terry, says Jimmy. G'day, g'day. Alright, turn it over. Just gonna fold up. So any questions at all so far? Have I not answered something yet? About 8 cents, A4 I believe, black and white. Okay, that's pretty good. That's very cheap. Yeah, much cheaper than mine. I can't do it that cheap. I just don't have the big thing that they have. But I'm working on it. I'm working on having a big machine. Got it down, deposit down on it. It's coming. I'll be back, haven't had brekkie yet. Okay, no worries. Just fold that little lip over. And like I say, you can cut that. Depends on yourself whether you feel that that's what you need to do or whether you can go without. How big is it once all joined together? It told me in the printing why print in grayscale. Okay, so it's a really good question. To answer the first question, this is around about roughly 40 inches by around about 60 roughly. I would have to give it another measure because it actually calculates in the edging, that white edging on the edge there. So I'd have to have another measure, but roughly that. Can you use a normal computer? Okay, that's exactly what I used, yep. Okay, so I'm printing in grayscale for Daisy, to answer Daisy's question, because I can see the highlights and lowlights. I'm not worried about colour at the moment, not just yet. I really just want to see the lines and the pattern, or like the lines for the pattern. Can you do this, say, with photo you have to? Absolutely, absolutely, Yvonne. I'm just going to stand up, just take that one down. I'm going to fold that. I could do at the Hub Library, Smile Sweet Leanna fans. Yeah, exactly right. That's exactly right. The libraries, yeah, some libraries will do that for you. If they've only got A4, it'll use up a lot of paper, so twice as much obviously. Officeworks also do up to A0 size, so not so many pieces. Yes, that's another good idea. You'll pay a bit more for it, but you'll only need 1 or 2 pieces, so that's another option. Absolutely. Happy New Year, Sharon, to you and your family. Thanks for joining. If you've joined us on YouTube, welcome, and don't forget to press that like, subscribe thingy down the bottom, and you'll see this one coming alive, because I'm going to, over the next few weeks or so, this will take quite a while, do a demo here and there, when it takes me. When you take it for printing, do you have to have it that size, or would they enlarge? No, they enlarge it for you. So you only have to have it the size it's on the actual computer. You don't have to, like A4, you don't have to have it as like an A2 or A0 or whatever. Alright, so that is that. Here so you can see, it's all upside down, but it's facing you. There you go. All done. Now, here's where I'm going to have to move the computer. It's very awkward. But here's where your freezer paper is going to come in really, really handy. You're going to want your freezer paper. Just move that computer in the way. So, what I tend to do is I'll just tape a couple of spots. I've taken very big foundation paper piecing patterns there, and all I had was enough. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. They'll do it. They'll just print it out what size you want. Makes no difference to them. Alright, you can use masking tape, whatever you want. Now, we need to just do some drawing. So here's where you're going to get a saw back. But what I want to do is just start outlining this. And I'll start with the large areas. The table's got a few bumps, but that's all right. So outline the outer pieces first. And like I say, you don't have to be perfect, okay? So I have taken, yeah, okay, got that one. So let me see if I can just, excuse my head in the camera, if I can zoom it in a little. Oops, a days, there we go. No, that didn't work, did it? There we go. Let's see a little bit more. Bring that camera back. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to come in that piece, and then you're going to do those sections. And then inside the sections, you're going to actually see dark and light pieces. So you grab that, and then you grab that one. You see how there's a dark and light one there? And depending on how busy you want it to be, you can make it as busy as you want or not as busy. I missed the start. What is it? Yes, it's a turtle. So yeah, you might have to go back to the start. I've sort of explained it about 3 times or 4 times now. The girls a bit bored with me, but yeah, basically we're prepping a piece of artwork for a collage. So, and you'll see how just grabbing those highlights and lowlights, and this is why you just have it in black and white, because why would you pay for all that colour when you don't really have to have it? Okay, so, and you can choose to leave some out, you can, you know, whatever, it's up to you. So if you don't want to have it as dark as all that, it's entirely up to you. So this is the part that takes the longest and is probably the harder part, because you've really got to sit and focus your eye in on those sections and figure out how much of that you want to bring to life, or whether you just want to simplify it a little bit more. Yeah, Happy New Year to you too, Nancy. So I'm just going to keep going, and you'll see how it all of a sudden has its own shape. Now, if I have a really cruddy texture, when I turn it over, I'm not going to be able to see those lines, am I? You can make up areas. Okay. You can, look, it is non-stop endless of what you can do, and once you start doing this sort of artwork, it's pretty much, you know, anything goes. You've got the ability to do anything. Any other questions relating to what I'm doing? And you know, those pieces, you can make them as big or as small as you want. You know, I've got tiny little ones here. I might decide later I don't want to use them, but I might use them, so I'll leave them there for now, and we'll see how we go. So can everyone sort of see what I'm doing? Is the camera picking that up? Yeah, cool. And sometimes you get bored with an area because it's so detailed. and then you go, right, I'm going to go somewhere else. So what you're going to see very shortly is me going, yeah, no, I'm just not going to, I'm not going to bother with that, or I'm going to get a little bit rougher with my choices, and you'll do the same. And then when you get to do your collage, then you'll start adding in bits of different fabric tones, because you know, even though you didn't cut them out, you didn't make the pattern of it, you know it's there because you can see it in the photo. What are you tracing it onto? Nothing yet. The picture is perfect. Good. I'm just tracing onto the actual picture itself. That's why I've just gone black and white, so I can see the tonal values, the highs and lows, the shadows, so to speak. And once this is drawn out, then I can put it onto the freezer paper, and I'll show you that next. So it does take a while to do this part. Don't forget, if you've got a really good table underneath, the texture will go through. So protect your table. And sometimes when I'm doing this, I find that I start seeing more and more shading and things like that, because you're staring at it for so long, and you tend to make it really complex. So just be aware as you're looking at it that you don't need to draw every tiny little wiggly line, just the ones that will create the shapes that you want. So I also and I can see that I've got the sticky tape there. It's getting in my way as I'm trying to draw, and what you'll find is when you turn it over, that won't show. Those sticky taped areas won't show through to the back. So you'll probably have to lift up and flip your picture around a bit when you get to that stage. You're not going to do this. This is in a very large scale. So the small scale one would be something like that little horse, but even though I did a lot of thread work on it, you don't have to. That is entirely up to you as well. You can just do normal stitching. You don't have to, thread work it. It's just something that I like to do personally, and there's no right and wrong, which is brilliant. I like that. No right and wrong. All you've got to do is make sure that you get your highlights and lowlights, and you can see expressions, or where the sun's coming from, or that sort of thing. Thomas the Tank Engine. And I tend to always start with the more complex areas first, so that I get it done. Otherwise I won't do it. it's not piecing, it's not painting, it is collage. So it's like a raw edge applique. Very, very simple. No joining of seams, none of that. Nice and easy. Is it like you did? Yes, very similar. Very similar. On a larger scale, much larger scale. So what I've done today is explain to you the printout way, how I print it out, what I do, how I get it enlarged, what file format I use, that sort of stuff. If you've got an A3 printer or a printer at all, even A2, you can still do this at home. If you don't though, you've always got, like they say, Officeworks or whatever. It's the closest I will come to this. So getting closer to these ends. The other one too, the other little hint is just to make sure that the areas are closed. So you just don't do a line, you've got to have it closed off. So see how that's not touching anything there to there? It needs to be closed off. So then I've got it joining. I'll just move this up a bit so you can see where I am. Hang on. Which way do I got to go? No. That way. There we go. Sorry, everyone a bit dizzy. And this more sort of blurred out area, you can add a little. I've got picked pork on cooking with all the trimmings for dinner. Nice. I will have to get my husband to do the tracing on the hand trimmers, or let me do that. Yeah, if you've got the hand trimmers or whatever, but that's a great idea if you've got someone else who can just sit there and just trace it out. And there's two points of tracing, so you're going to do it this way, and then there's another lot of tracing, but the second lot's a lot quicker. And sometimes I just add my own little lines in and stuff, so you know, you can, obviously you can do that too, and just to shorten the process of it. Otherwise, you'll be there forever tracing every tiny little shadow. We need Michelle to come teach at a retreat in Melrose for 30, 40 people. No pressure, ladies, but what an awesome idea. Oh dear, yeah, well, this is, it's a big project to do. I do teach this. So, yeah. Normally I teach it on a smaller scale, much easier when you first start off, like the horse. And when you see the size of the horse, you'll be like, oh my god, I didn't realise it was so small. Yeah, it's very effective. I like doing this. This is relaxing for me. Because you're sort of opening up those creative juices and just letting it flow. So even though you're doing a bit of a tracing thing, you're still creating your own pattern. My hands would ache after that much drawing, and I had to do in one go so I could use dining room table. Yeah, just don't do it on that bigger scale. Just a smaller scale. That's what I would suggest. It's just I'm doing it large because I want to make it like a feature piece. Yeah, so I've got enough on there. Just a bit here. That's plenty. It gives all the detail I need. Even smaller scale, I'll take anything. Hey, you organise a workshop, I'll come and do it. Let's turn it this way a bit. Sit back down. And you don't have to press hard, so I'm just pressing light. That's the other thing. I'm just tracing. Make sure it's you check out. I said to Genevieve, I said you guys need to have a massive calendar and know exactly where I am at any given point in time, so when you want to do a live or whatever with me, you know where I am, or you want me to come and do classes, I can do that. And the other thing too is when you're doing something like this, you've got to also look at it and think, okay, well, do I really need to do that little bit of piece of drawing, or can I make that work in with the thread, when I start stitching? If we build it, she will come. That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah, I don't have time to organise the classes, but I'm happy to advertise them for you. Oh, we can have one in every state if you want to. A travelling workshop. So with this one here, I really want to show the creases. So she said yes, I did say yes. Yeah, absolutely, I'll be there. So I'm drawing these lines out, even if they're not precisely what's there. I'm making creases because I want to show it as the crease of the arm, but I also need to show there's some high and low lights there that play into it as well. The beauty of a workshop is that I'd have it all, I'd have a couple of designs and you guys just go from there. Or if you're wanting to do something where it's your own photo, then you'd get them all sent to me and I'd have them all printed out ready for the class, and in the size that we're going to do. So you can sort of see these lines here. They're really close together and the texture's too thick. So I'm just making them up a little bit as I go, because I can do the rest in thread. I'm ordering, love what Chula has done. Chula. What's Chula done? And just thinking about fabric, I use batiks a lot and pretty much only when I'm doing these, and the occasional, I don't know, organza, or you know, sometimes silk, silk organza. And the reason being, except for the silks and that, is that batiks just don't fray like other fabrics do. So something like this area here, it's really quite detailed. And again, just choose what part or how much of that you want to detail, or whether you want to use do the detail in a fabric, or whether you want to do it in a thread. So this is, it's very, very boring. So just don't forget to tell G who wants to order the freezer paper as well. She will need to order a certain quantity, and $16 for 12 meters is pretty damn good. You wouldn't need any more than that for a little while. Okay, so I tend to also do these in sections. So if you've noticed, I'm just doing this section, and then I'll come back and I'll do the outer section. Hi Jen and Liza. Why not have at Wallaroo Sailing Club plenty of accommodation close by? Michelle could stay at Wallaroo Hotel accommodation 5-star. Oh, jeez. I normally don't stay 5 stars, so that'd be a bloody swish-maroo. Swish-magoo. Yeah, that's a great idea, Linda. I'm happy if people want to travel and go and come and do it. Absolutely. This is what I do. This is my artwork. This is it. It holds all the stuff that I do. So your free motion quilting, your raw edge applique, you can add paint to it if you want to, you know, your thread work. It's got it all. Absolutely got it all. That's why I love it. So you can see all the creases in the turtle skin, and like I say, you ad lib. If it's too much, change it to suit you, and use a fabric that will work better, or use thread. So I'm just getting the basic shape of the skin here, and I'll come in and change it up later, because there's so many different highlights and lowlights. You could be there for a month some days. Do you have tearaway and how much, please? Hey! Come here, Tui. No. Up into bed. Oi. That's just your father out there with a tractor. No, Genevieve, off track. You do have tearaway. There you go. Jenny, question for you. So does anyone else have any other questions at the moment? We're all quite happy just to sit here and watch me scribble away. What? Sure do. It's like $1 a meter. There you go. God, that's really good. So what am I doing? I am tracing a design, getting ready to make a pattern for a art piece. This is a twiddle. It's going to be collaged, and I've sort of been talking about how we get to this point, yeah. This is just one section of it. So when I finish doing something like this, it'll be valuable, like as in be laid on an island and work on island time batteries. Don't get a recruiting go for business. Oh, cool. You know, you're talking something that's going to be valued about, you know, 5-6 grand. It's not something at this size and this amount of work that's, you know, it's not something that you're just going to make and it's worth a few $100, you know. Like this is a one-off. Even if you did one the same thing, it won't be the same as such. It might look similar, but it'll never be the same. I couldn't do two the same. It's just near impossible. So, you know, you know that this is going to be something that's worth a lot of money. It's also amazing to look at. It's something that people are going to aspire to. You know, it's an inspirational piece, and it has meaning to you. You know, it's there's a reason for me doing turtles. Besides loving them, of course, the demise is just horrific in my mind. So I just feel that, you know, this is my sort of artistic way of representing them the best I can with what my knowledge is. Done, Maz, got your order. Ah, beautiful. Okay, so yeah, you know, you just when you're doing this, you're not just making a quilt. This is a wall hanging. It's a piece of art. You know, some are going to like it, some aren't going to like it, because it's all relevant when it comes to art. And either way is fine. Doesn't bother me. It's nice when someone loves it, and it's okay if someone doesn't. And to to be honest with you. This sort of stuff is my saving grace. This is what gets me motivated to create, and yeah, I just love this. This is fun. This to me is just brilliant. This is the start of a really awesome project, and fingers crossed everything goes well, and it ends up, you know, somewhere, someone's home, someone loves it. That's terrible having to work so Jenny, thanks for my parcel. Wow, that took a long time. You would have love the big turtle rocky we have oh, I'd love that. That is amazing. I'm going to come back and do this this top part where the bubbles are. I'm just going to lift it up and now move it around. I just think they're not respected enough, the old turtle. So turn it around. Just get that up a bit without tearing it. What are you doing under there? Listen here, fan, stop it. Okay. My buttons I ordered through you, Jenny, arrived on Friday. Oh, good. That's good. Oh, look, I just love turtles. Alright, just has to sit there. Oh. Oh, excuse me. Oh, just let's see if I can get you to see a little bit more of it. Hang on, which way do we go? Zoom it out a bit. Oh, come on, Michelle. Get your fingers ready. There we go. They read the face on that. Alright, so I'm 3/4 the way through doing her, so, or him, whomever it may be. So it's not as long as you think. I mean, I've been on here for, I don't know, how long have I been on here for now? Yeah, it's not as bad as all that. This is, you know, this is something I will do, and then I'll let it sit for a bit, because I want my brain to take in what I've been looking at. So it's very hard to explain. Oops. Very hard to explain. I hope that makes sense. It's a bit of an arty thing, I think. I don't know how to explain it any other way other than that. Oh, an hour? That's not too bad. It's not too bad. We did a bit of chatting beforehand. We'll, I'll get this drawn and we'll go and have a quick break, bathroom break, because I need one soon, because I've been drinking way too much coffee this morning. And yeah, so probably another maybe 20 minutes. We'll have this done. Shiny fabric over the top of the turtle that you are tracing on. No, that's sticky tape. That's just sticky tape, just to hold it together while I'm tracing. No shiny fabric on this at all. It is literally just the design printed out on paper, and this is how you create your pattern. And I'm going to, this is your first step, I'm going to take you through the second step after a break, so stay tuned, and you will see it turn into a pattern very shortly. Now, like I said earlier, Genevieve is taking orders, so if you need to have some, this is live obviously for those who are on YouTube, if you need to actually contact myself to send me a message, or Genevieve through Facebook at Bedina Craft and Sewing Centre in South Australia, then she will order that for you. $16 for 12 metres, very cheap, very good pricing, and a lovely woman as well. Right. What, because I'm going to have a bathroom break, Jimmy? It's not always about you, mate. Just saying. And again, for those who are on YouTube, don't forget to press the like, share, subscribe buttons, and that just helps support my page, and it means I can bring you more and more live content. And you guys can see how this all, starts, like where these arty, farty projects start. They don't just come out of the blue. They do start on a piece of paper, believe it or not. The old piece of paper is still valuable. Okay, it was my, yeah, okay. Oh, it's mesmerising, is it? What do we need freeze paper for, please? You'll see that after the break. I have been sewing on buttons and sewing patches, so these special bits won't be seen. It stopped showing comments, I had to reconnect. Oh, okay, Jimmy, that's alright. Okay, I'll allow that. Oh, dear. Oh, good buddy boy. So, yeah, so Jimmy, if you want to do something and you would like some help with that, I'm happy to do that for you. Just send me a PM with what you want and how big you would like it, roughly. It'll be a rough sizing. And I can do that for you, mate, and also for anyone else that has physical ailments or issues that don't allow them to sit there and do this process. I'm happy to help and do that at any time, because I can get Epi onto it as well, and yeah. Now, if any time you think your printout is a bit light, you can't see it, you've also got your other printout at the side here, which means you can see what's going on, so you can make sure that you make the right drawing marks. I'm pretty sure that goes that way. Snap and turtle. Big smiley. And then we've got that up there for the beak. Sometimes it's nice to get online and just sit there and, you know, watch this sort of thing rather than spending money every time you get on, you know. This is my give back. I like to do. It's very, very therapeutic, by the way. I will start with the steaming. Yeah, the turtle is a bit beyond even my current ability to do. So how, what's that question? Hang on, I missed that. So how do I get to have this on YouTube instead of Facebook? So just go to YouTube and go to Michelle's Patchwork on YouTube and subscribe, and you'll see that there'll be a live there for this. So it comes live the same time as being on Facey, so you get both. So once I show you the fabric that I'm going to use, for those that were here when I had all that fabric, you're going to go, oh my god, I can so see that. So obviously he's going to be done mainly in batik, pretty much batik. My guess is, yep, thank you Naomi. My guess is that Michelle will trace the outlines with tracing paper. What do you need? Freezer paper. Yeah, with the freezer paper you need to do your next step, because that's going to be the actual physical pattern. This, you're making a pattern. The next step is to make the physical pattern. This is your two-dimensional one, and then you've got to make it so that you can use it. It's just drawing it on here, it's not going to make it happen, is it? So So the easy way to get all the detail into something like this will be to paint it. Just FYI, so if you are into painting on fabric, you do want to do a bit of painting on it, you can do that as well. But in saying that, I say it's easier, it's less time consuming, is more to the point. It's not necessarily easier. Depends on how good a painter you are. And at this point, if you needed to stop and start and fold it up and put it aside, you can at any time, and it's no big deal. So for those who wouldn't be able to do the whole sit in one session, you can do it in, you know, bits and pieces. Now, I would say that the beak would have to be one of the most important parts to get right, so as in your shadowing. So just make sure you take a little bit more time on the parts that you know are going to need more detail. nothing stopping you going doing a mixed patchwork with some painting, just asking for a friend. Yeah, no, absolutely. You can mix it up with some fabric paint, or whatever paint suits as well. No reason why not. So I just got into my own little zone then and zoned right out. Sorry. silent movies, changing of the dogs in the basket. They do get hot. Sorry guys, I just got into a bit of a zone again. Yeah, I put my arty farty thing on and I just went really quiet. Sorry. So if you've got any questions, now's the time to ask, because I can sort of look up and that every now and then. But if you notice, I went quiet because I was doing around the eye area. It's sort of it's a very important area that you want to make sure you get the right shape. So I'm sort of concentrating a little bit more, less talk, more drawing type thing, or tracing. Because to me this is not really drawing, you're just tracing. So you don't have to be able to draw to do this. Last time we did one of these, it was the horse, and if you remember, I was talking about fur, and I don't know if you remember, but we were doing thread work on the fur and stuff like that. So you've got to do it in a certain direction. With this one, it'll be different. So it's sort of a different process. It'll have a different look to it. Canvas 3000 cooling down in the shade. Wow, 3,000 others. Wow. It's huge. It's a huge can. I've spent quite a bit of time on that area there. I'm pretty happy with that. When it comes to the fabric and stuff like that, I'll go through it more then. But that is basically you're drawing him out and or her out, however you want to talk about it. And the only other thing I want to do in this, draw out of it, is the shadow. So I just got on, looks beautiful, is that a panel, are they for sale? No, Leonie. Looks like a great way to stop myself from leaning. This is me just creating a pattern, so for my next step. So I'm just going to do it from here. And I'll just show you what I've got. So, just put that out. Let's get some tape and stick that down. Don't want it tearing, if I can avoid it. So yeah, so that little bit up there that you can't quite see, up here, I'll do that later. But let me turn it over and show you what we've got. And you'll go, ah! Right, let me unzoom that. Oh my gosh, it's so far away. There we go. So what you've got now is actually a pattern, so to speak, for the turtle. Now you'll see areas that haven't come through, like on here. That'll be because there's tape there. So I'll go into the pattern and draw it on manually. So I'll just touch those up when I come back, and then we'll start doing the tracing of this. Yeah, so you pretty much trace it like 2 or 3 times, so you can see what I mean though. I don't have to do a lot of those, as long as I've got the main connecting lines, you know, from here to here. So on my texter, the fan's getting under it, so I would make sure that I've got these sort of connecting. So it might be a little bit different from the front, but it'll still work. What else is there? You know, so from here to here, I might have, you know, so I might go along and just do these connecting lines so that I can get a proper picture of it. And in saying that, I don't have to. I can do the majority of it without connecting them, and then when I turn it over, I can then just pop those lines in manually from the front. So as long as the majority of it's there, I can see, you know, this really needs to be connected. It's all connected, but yeah. So it might be a case of just filling in some of these, just manually, and then I'll come in from the other side. So, but that gives you an idea of what I mean by a pattern. So this is your start of it. So this is part A of doing, you know, making something, this type of thing. So a collage of any kind, and so each and every one of those little squares or wiggles or squiggles are all going to be, you know, a bit of fabric. I did. Just to my phone for I'm starting some hot for cold drink. Yeah. So yeah, so let's go and have a quick break. I do a bit of a toilet break and that, and we'll come back and we'll retrace it so it's quicker. The next step is quicker, but yeah, it needs to be done because that is going to be your physical pattern. Like as if you're doing a dress pattern, you're dressmaking, you need to have your physical pattern. You can always stick it on the window to have the tape there shows through to redraw. Yes, yes. So my arms won't stay up like that in that position because of the shoulders, the frozen shoulder thing I've got going on. So I can't. But for me personally, to be honest with you, I mean, with the picture sitting here, I can move it over and just, you know, do a few wiggly lines and it'll work the same. So the only thing I'd be worried about is if I couldn't see, say, the eye or, you know, something that was really important, that it's a real feature that needs to be detailed. So let's go and have a break and we'll see you back soon. Bye.